Hello and welcome to The Corner. I'm the Frosted Glass and I'm joined by my fellow Alabaster Savages, Jack Gunsky.
Got a bowl of cherries here. You ready for Jack Gunsky to pop some cherries?
Yeah, great. Now Chris Hansen's going to show up. Moonshock.
Hello, everybody. I have no special intro, so you're just going to have this.
Yeah, he's dressed as a character from Clue. Terry Diamandis.
No. Jack is trying to be a bit more adventurous than Bran, I see.
And this week's special guest, Jack Cochran.
Hey, what's up, straights, gays, and non-binary hoes?
See, he's trying to fish for more subscribers because he's so woke.
No, I think he's
Moonshock.
trying to make sure that you're included, Mincho.
You
Yes,
left
Moonshock, you spent an hour one day telling me about Chris Hansen memes. Frosted Glass opens the floor to you, and you blow it. You suck.
I honestly don't remember.
You blew it. You had it all and you blew it.
I had it all and I blew it. What's wrong with me?
All right.
Oh, thanks, BG. Apparently, I need to be special for a special intro.
Well, he's special. He's got his own bus and everything.
It's a short one, though.
It's very short, yes.
All right. Well, let's start with our first article.
Please don't tell me it's that one.
White people should not get a vote on reparations.
Okay.
Their forefathers enslaved my ancestors. Here's why white people should not have the right to deny justice.
Tell you what, let's have a vote as to whether white people get a vote or not.
No, that would be racist or something.
Yeah.
Well,
we should just give it to them. Just give it to them because they're special.
wait, aren't they going to do this under the white man's justice system?
Yeah.
Shouldn't they get rid of that, too? Should they have to... Why is this written in English? The language of colonizers? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, there should
So-
be like
I-
doing mouth clicks and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean-
it shouldn't even be written. I bet they didn't even have writing when this person's ancestors were taken. Therefore, they shouldn't have any now because you're just appropriating another person's culture and you're taking from your oppressor. You're taking it and making it your own. Oh, that's tainted. That's like blood money. No.
I think we should make them a deal. You can have a bit of money, but you have to go back into slavery.
Mm-hmm. And everybody
What-
gets a free N-word pass.
Yes.
Yeah.
What I think that what the whole issue to me is irrelevant because the following question, let's say you want reparations. The following question is, okay, who do you give it to?
Every
Because
black person.
there are biracial people in America, and it's not so easy to tell. For a lot of people, what, they get shut out? If you're only half black, do you only get half the money?
No. Have you seen Family Guy where they've got the color, the paint sample, and then they just have people stand next to it, and like everyone below this line gets reparations.
So what, you think Sean King isn't going to say anything about that?
I'd say anyone darker than Remy Malik. I think we can agree on that.
I don't know who that is, but I'll
Oh.
agree.
What I want to know is why aren't people asking, or like, why aren't the Irish people asking for reparations for indentured servitude?
Because they're
white.
drunk.
they were
because they're
treated
white.
much worse than slaves were. Who the fuck cares if they're white?
No, they're white, therefore they're oppressors, even as slaves or indentured servants, or whatever fancy term you want to give for their supremacy.
We just want our
the
potatoes.
point is, but the point is, if what you're proposing is totally impractical in every conceivable sense, then why are you arguing for it? There's no way to implement this. This isn't a serious attempt to get any sort of money. It's only an attempt to perpetuate the victim narrative that you are trying to weave every single day for the rest of eternity.
Excuse
Nothing.
me. Excuse me, Jack, but you're not allowed to use the word weave.
That's true.
It's cultural appropriation. Sorry.
I also want to know why other countries aren't asking for reparations. I mean, a hell of a lot more slaves went to South America than ever came to North America. So I don't see anybody down there bitching about it.
Yeah.
You don't see people in.
That's because
And
they're
they're doing
racist
it to
down
this,
there.
but they're doing it to this day. You don't
And
hear people bitching about it.
They were racist down there. That's why they're not willing to make amends for slavery.
Well, I mean,
Racist prick.
what are they going to give away? Like cocaine or something?
Yeah. Here's your cocaine reparations.
But
Hey, I'll tell you what,
but if you're talking about, like, does anyone remember the debate that Jordan, or the conversation, I forget what was specifically, Jordan Peterson had with what's his name, Dyson or something like that? The guy who he kept making up all this, gibberish, nonsensical sentences and didn't really say anything. There's one point where basically Jordan Peterson asks, like, the ultimate question, which is, okay, fine, let's say you deserve reparations. How much do I have to pay? How much do I have to pay so that we can finally have a conversation like adults? And the other guy can't give an answer. Because there is no answer, because he's not actually arguing for money, he's arguing for power. That is what these people are arguing for, is power. And it's absolutely ridiculous, because it is totally contrary to everything they're talking about slavery. They want to hold us in slavery. That's what these people want.
Oh, I mean, if they want power, there's easy to get. There's like power points in every wall. Just plug them in. It's easy.
Yeah, maybe they can go around sticking some forks in those outlets.
Yeah.
In 2014, Ta-Nehisi Coates published The Case for Reparations in The Atlantic. His essay makes a compelling case with historical evidence of the direct line from the chattel slavery system to the disparities impacting black people and their communities today. Still, black people may want to consider who they are making the pitch to. According to the AP, 83% of white Americans oppose reparations. I can't help but...
It should be 100%. Yes, correct.
I can't help but think that we're barking up the wrong tree.
Because you are. Y'all a bunch of dogs, right?
White Americans today are descendants of those same white men who held black people in perpetual bondage. Unless of course they emigrated here after the 1860s, in which they're not, but whatever. In an ideal scenario, white people today would realize how wrong slavery was and engage in the process of restorative healing. However, America's not the scene of a fairy tale.
I just want to correct Moonshock on one thing. They're not dogs, they're monkeys.
Nah, I can't argue with that logic.
The opinions of co-hosts of the corner do not reflect the opinions of the corner.
I would just like to point out the redundancy of the phrase restorative healing. What the fuck does that mean?
That means give me money.
It basically means if you give me some cash, then I'll feel much, much better about myself.
It is a meaningless buzzword. Healing is by its very nature restorative.
Well, they already had restoration during Reconstruction when they created all the, gave everybody their rights and, did all the affirmative action stuff during the Civil Rights era. All this stuff's been bought and paid for, man. There's no way you can actually give reparations. What is a beating worth?
$5.
Well, not to mention the fact that, yeah. But if you actually add up all the welfare, all the free shit that they've already taken up to this point, it would more than make up for any kind of reparations. That's just free fucking money that they're wanting. But everything that they've already gotten as far as social programs, free college, shit like that, has more than made up what they would ever get from reparations. And more than what they would ever get from now and any time in the future, like forever. So I don't buy this bullshit of, we need more money because we're black. No, sorry, you need to be a little bit more equal towards the whitey, and then just maybe things might go your way if you actually try to do something with your life and stop being such a fucking leech on society.
I've already told people the solution. All they need to do is make cigarettes easier to get for black men. Problem solved.
Just like IDs.
Real quick, over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Okie Native. Here's some rice for your loved den guests. Oh, they appreciate that. And thank you. They should petitioned the Hague for reparations from France, England, Portugal, and the African nations in that order. You know, the people who started the slave trade in the New World.
Mhm.
Yeah, and let's not forget the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that were responsible. Getting reparations on all of them is ludicrous. You're never going to be able to do that. Plus, how do you weigh how much money each person should get? Not everybody is a descendant of a slave. Not all black people were slaves. Many were free. This is dumb. And a lot of this that the Democrats are pushing now is because of policies that their party pushed back in the 1860s after Lincoln's assassination. So they need to shut the fuck up, because Jim Crow wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for the Democrats.
Well, let's also not forget that there were actually black people who had black slaves.
Yeah, the first slaveholder in America was black.
I think it's worth pointing out that if a black person was free, they must have been a really shitty slave, because you've got to figure even the worst slave is worth a little bit of money. If they're free, holy shit.
And let's not also forget that not we, but the people that had the slaves back then, they bought the slaves from other black people.
Yeah, the Africans sold each other out, and that's always looked over. It's always white people's fault. This is just a bunch of racist nonsense.
Yeah, they're making it up like we went over there and just captured them with snares, or we put a banana inside one of those little loops and say, "Here, look, you stepped in and grabbed the banana. Oh, look, this thing goes up."
We had really big butterfly nets, like cartoonishly large. No, this whole argument is fucking ludicrous, because it can't happen. Tracing lineage is going to be too much of a pain in the ass, and half the time you couldn't do it because you're going to have to prove provenance on who owned what slaves, and you should technically then find their descendants of the slave owners and go after them and who they bought them from, and treat it just like they do with gun manufacturers now. It's not the fault of the slave owners, it's the fault of the chains. So they should go after the chain manufacturers and the people that sold them.
And the people that built the gigantic slave boats.
Yeah,
And-
obviously.
And unlike the Second Amendment, and unlike guns, the Second Amendment doesn't actually say anything about chains.
But I think we're missing the obvious. You need to go after God for inventing cotton.
Oh yeah, and it is super comfy. I'm wearing a cotton shirt right now, and it's a delight.
Racist.
Yeah.
Can we sue God? Are we gonna sue God? Does anyone know where to reach God?
I'm pretty sure he's
There was
judgment.
actually a movie, The Man Who Sued God. I think it was Billy Connolly was in it.
No, but we need to get like one of those guys who he comes to your door with like a bunch of flowers, and then he serves you papers. We need to get like a guy like that for God. Do we know any saints that could serve God?
No, I don't know any.
Well, I mean, if we're
Just watch the movie. The movie is The Man Who Sued God. Watch how he did it.
if we're suing the Christian God, it'll be tough on him because he won't be able to have a Jewish lawyer.
That's an excellent point.
I don't know. He could ask his son.
Well, he's a carpenter. Some still tried to defend the system of slavery. Others tried to deny the impact it had and has on black people. The whole dynamic of white people assessing the worth of black people's lives and what they are due is bonkers. White people, you do not get to tell us that debt is paid when it never was.
Has anyone heard anyone say anything positive about slavery, like unironically?
Yes.
Is anyone legitimately saying, slavery was actually pretty cool?
Slavers?
No, but in recent times.
Oh.
I've never.
You'd have to go to the Middle East for that, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Wealthy white men like Senator Mitch McConnell's great-great-grandfathers owned slaves on both sides of his family tree. Yet,
So hold on. So if you can capitalize black, why can't you capitalize white? Fucking racist.
Well, because blacks are better.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they run out of ink or something like that? Not enough ink on the thing to do white and W, capital W? Just saying.
We don't do that. Whitey. Oh my God.
Well,
really?
I'm surprised at the beginning of the sentence down here in a couple of sentences, it actually has a capital W in white, but well, of course that follows the rules of grammar and capitalization, but
That's a typo.
yeah.
Yet he is one of the leading opponents to delivering restorative justice to the descendants of slavery. As he has slavers on both sides of his family, both sides of my family were enslaved. White people should not get to tell me that the enslavement of my family is irrelevant to my life and the lives of my family members and community.
Oh, wait. Is this going to be some post-traumatic slave disorder shit?
Apparently. Men like McConnell have the power to tell black people no to their hopes and dreams of receiving restorative justice in America. How is this...
Does McConnell walk up in like a straw hat and a whip and go, no, bad Negro?
I'm picturing the part in A Christmas Carol where they go up to him and ask for money for the poor. You know, are there no workhouses?
Isn't McConnell the one that looks like a fucking elderly turtle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I thought so.
How is this morally different from his great-great-grandfathers who said no to my ancestors when all they wanted was freedom and payment for their forced labor? It's not.
They got freedom! They got freedom!
First of all, I want to see this guy do a genetics test just so that everyone can prove him like, it was my ancestors. Motherfucker, I doubt it, but okay, sure. Go get a genetic test.
See, now I'm imagining like these impoverished black people standing outside Mitch McConnell's house and him just waving them away with a broom. Get away from here! Get out! Get off my lawn! Needy blacks.
or you can just be like what Forrest Gump says. Combs, what Combs? Mom just chased him off with a broom.
Black people are held down by the structural racism established by their forefathers' chattel slavery system. Now that the physical shackles are gone, why then does he have the right to tell me no? He shouldn't. White people should not get a vote on reparations because they have not shown a willingness to reckon with the gravity of their forefathers' crimes.
No, white people should not get a vote on reparations because any black person that would say, hey, look, you're going to get free money, they're going to absolutely fucking vote yes. That'll be like a 100% vote for yes. So of course they don't want white people to vote for it.
This is more blood sin shit. I am not responsible for what my ancestors did. I'm not even responsible for what my siblings and my parents did. I am a different person. McConnell is not responsible for his grandparents or great-grandparents or whatever. He's pretty fucking old. Owning slaves. That's stupid. And this person was never a fucking slave. Why should you get paid for what the suffering of someone else?
Jack, maybe he should get a test so that he can find out that he's 1024th slave.
There you go.
I think it's a woman.
Whatever.
Well, this is all. It all feeds back to Marxism. Everything that goes on in Medium always feeds back to Marxism. In this case, the element of Marxism that feeds back into is collective guilt on the part of the so-called empowered group.
Oh, and redistribution of money.
Yeah, and redistribution and collective guilt, and it's such an insane concept to me that you can tell a person you are responsible for something that you not only did you not do, but you were not alive or even a thought in anyone's mind at the time when the crime actually happened, but you are responsible. How do you square that? How does the mind square that?
Also,
it's ludicrous.
Also, where do we draw the line with this? Because what if someone's great ancestor just murdered someone else's great ancestor? Like,
this goes back.
Like, should there be reparations for every single crime involving someone's ancestors?
No, yes. You will always be held in contempt because you have this original sin. Mm-hmm. See, this is how the caste system's formed. You saw it with the monarchy in Europe. You saw it in India with their actual untouchables. You're permanently down in a lower caste, and you can never. If your father was a carpenter, you're a carpenter, and that's all you could ever be. That's how it works. And that's what they want to go back to. It's that same mentality. And this is very much the mindset of the communists, because the Marxism really comes out of that whole Victorian era where people were largely locked into their caste system and there wasn't a whole lot of social mobility.
Well, North Korea is still
could
doing
never
that too.
Get rich.
Yeah, North Korea still does the caste system.
Yeah, a lot of places do.
Yep.
I'll just say, if you're a carpenter, just make sure you remember to eat.
Well.
And avoid crosses like the plague.
Yeah. Although if somebody does try and serve God with legal papers, he'll send Jesus out to collect them because he's part of God, and the paper will just go right through his hand because of the hole there. But can you roll it up like a little tube? All right. Ha ha! Not served, bitch. Then he runs on across a pond because he can walk on water.
He like whips his hand up like the like he did a too low thing with the high five.
Yeah.
Or too slow.
Too slow.
Yeah, and he runs across the pond and turns it into wine as he goes, so a bunch of homeless will go drink it and create 2 obstacles for the process server. Avoided.
Just what Jesus does when he's drunk.
Probably what he does when he's sober. I'd abuse that to no end. That'd be fun.
Once in America, white men force-bred my ancestors with one another, treating them like animals instead of people.
Come on now, get on top of her, Blackie. Come on, get on there. It's your turn. I don't care how messy it is down there. Get on there. It's your turn.
And it's funny that this person should try to make this point, because in the Arabic world, when they took black slaves, they actually castrated them so they couldn't breed. So you as fuck don't see any kind of black descendants over there from their slaves, because their asses died as slaves with no kids.
Yeah, they did that in lots of Chinese areas too, with the eunuchs, the house eunuchs. That's because they didn't want you getting busy with the ladies, so they could have a harem that wasn't tainted.
Well, yeah, but also remember they're still doing it in China today in a way, because they do stuff to ensure that the Sikh is it the Sikhs or it's the
Uyghurs?
The Uyghurs can't breed with each other, so they have actual people stand in their houses to make sure that they don't have any funny business going on.
Where they stand there while they sleep. You will not have sex.
Yeah.
Wow, you can make a career of being a cock block in China.
Only butt stuff for you.
Yeah, I'm not a couple more years of this and I'll be a senior cock blocker.
As a result, the black population in America grew exponentially, all sold to white men maintaining power over stolen land.
Unless, of course, it was a black person that had slaves, but then that's irrelevant. That's a hate fact.
As a result, even some Africans refuse to acknowledge our Africanness. At least one woman told me black Americans are not African.
Well, yeah, they're sure as fuck aren't African American either. That's not even a fucking term.
White people caused an unnatural schism between African people and their destinies. How many of them were born to become royalty, only to end up forced into a lifetime of servitude?
Aww.
We was Kangs?
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing if you were descended from royalty, then the Africans wouldn't have sold you to the Europeans. Let's see.
If you were royalty in Africa, odds are you were the one doing the selling.
Yeah. Oh, royalty in Africa. I'm head of the dirt mound. Awesome. Real quick, thank you, Oki. Apropos of nothing related to the conversation and doesn't need to be read out loud. Too late! But why is Jeff Holiday such a biatch? And why do people insist on thinking he's intelligent? Fucking Twitter. Dude, I don't know. He's got the same kind of mindset as these fucking idiots we're talking about here. Some people are just fucking dumb. Or they're smart at one thing and really stupid at everything else. This whole reparations thing is just tiresome. You're not getting any money. Fuck off. Freeloaders.
Well, they're already getting plenty of money in other programs, so this is just like a free cash payout.
White Americans owe a debt they could not possibly pay back in full. But the unfortunate part about it is 83% of white Americans won't even try. That's not going to fly.
Wait. We cannot possibly pay back this debt, and we are blamed for not trying. So we're blamed for not paying back something. We're blamed for not trying to do something that we literally can't do.
Yeah.
What?
That makes total
flow
sense.
chart. No, I need a flow chart for this. It's complicated.
Okay, but before you don't scroll down anymore, just you have the gigantic word Negroes on the screen.
Thumbnail.
Negroes with shadows.
It's historical, Susan. This is a history channel.
Yeah, that is actually a historic picture.
Oh, we got this ad from the DNC looking for voters.
They'll pay you $1,250 each for Negroes.
So let me get this. So let me get this right. It's okay to benefit from black forced labor, but it's not okay to pay back what you owe. That's ridiculous.
Well, technically, they bought them, so they already paid for it. I mean, how many times you got to pay for the same property? What is this, the death tax?
If you want to pitch that to them, Jack, go ahead.
I'm not doing that. Fuck that.
Well,
It's
shit,
funny. It ain't that funny.
Go to a BLM rally, you know. We already
It's
paid
like-
for you.
It's like the concept of like earning money. See, with money, you have to pay taxes when you make the money, and then you have to pay taxes again when you get rid of money. So it's like fucking sales taxes. Like, that's the dumbest tax ever. You have to fucking pay somebody extra money when you want to buy something. That's like I don't get it.
When I was in Tennessee a couple years back, they don't have an income tax. They have a sales tax. So it's sales tax on everything. The hotel I stayed at was like 10% tax.
Yeah, that's
Oof.
insane.
Yeah, but it ends up being cheaper if you just don't buy a lot of stuff.
That's true. Or
So-
go across the border.
Yeah, you take an hour drive to Kentucky, buy all your shit there, and you're fine. Because I was
That-
at Nashville, and yeah, I thought it was great. Because if I was planning on living there at the time, and no income tax, oh, it'd have been fucking delightful.
You know, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they had like some kind of a like a fucking border control or border patrol that says, "Do you have anything? Are you bringing anything back from that state?"
honestly,
an immigration place.
Thankfully, they're not allowed to do that yet. So
What state was this? The high sales tax?
Tennessee.
yeah, Tennessee.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a terrible idea. I think that sounds like a fantastic way to ensure that nobody buys anything in your state and your economy struggles as a result.
No, they're doing pretty good actually. Because
Really?
if you make a lot of money, your income tax is pretty fucking high.
Yeah,
Well,
it's true.
the whole concept of income tax is actually illegal anyway, but we can thank Woodrow Wilson for that when he brought in the Federal Reserve. So
Yeah, well, Woodrow Wilson was probably the most evil president we've ever had.
yeah, because before the Federal Reserve came in, there was no such thing as an income tax unless it was for businesses.
Woodrow Wilson and FDR, I think, maybe as close as you can get to tied for the worst president of the United States ever.
Yeah, about as close as
I
you can
think
get
you
to
mean
socialist presidents too.
Trump is the worst. I've been
Well-
reliably informed that Trump is so evil that every other evil figure in history, including Hitler, pales in comparison.
Well, history never started before Trump anyway. You know, it started after he became president.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was just the void before he became president.
Well, yeah, well, that's why I think Trump was a time traveler, because that would explain all the evils in the world then, see?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because Orange Man went back in time to cause slavery, and he probably went around and created minstrel shows as well.
Yeah, and he is basically Hitler too.
Let
Yeah.
me tell you about this great idea I have. It's called slavery. It's gonna be
See
great.
that black guy over there? You're
It's
going to
gonna
buy
be
it.
great.
It's gonna be
It's
great.
gonna
It's
be
gonna be the
great.
greatest idea of all time. You'll see.
America's gonna have the greatest slaves in the world. We
That guy
have
over there-
No, you sound more
we have
like
the
Bernie
finest
Sanders.
blacks. I do a better Bernie than I do a Trump, admittedly.
that guy over there that owns that slave. He's a
Amer-
great guy. Great guy.
The American people are tired of women.
Bernie's so easy to. All you have to do is
Lot
just
of
sound
fun.
like a fucking moron, and there you go.
After the heinous behavior of McConnell's family and other white folks, why should they get to say no to reparations? They shouldn't. White
Yes, they should.
White people shouldn't get a say because my ancestors did not get a voice in their oppression.
Oh, fuck's sake. Have you done... go to fucking Ancestry.com or some bullshit and keep your stupid shit off of this, because It's my ancestors. It's all this shit. Oh my god, it's my ancestors, man. I'm black. I need reparations, man.
You don't know fuck about your parents, let alone several generations back.
Yeah, I mean, did your daddy leave to get some cigarettes and not come back? Smart money would say yes.
What if, and I'm just spitballing here, what if one of his ancestors was really a masochist and kind of like enjoyed being a slave?
We never hear about the slaves that enjoyed it.
Yeah, like, what if after they freed him, he's like, I'm not leaving, whip me again, master. And they're like, what? And then he like stalked them for years. And it's like, yeah, beat me some more.
Go away now. Leave us be. The war is over.
We really need a BDSM movie about a slave who likes it.
Hell yeah.
I can guarantee you that exists.
12 more years a slave.
12 more years of slave daddy.
Well, the best before the Mexicans came along, the best gardeners were the black slaves. So there you go.
Oh, Kyler found that one upsetting. Whip me, daddy. Yeah.
Would you ask a bank robber what restitution he should pay back? No, you wouldn't, because that's not how life works. You don't get to cause harm and then become belligerent when the victim of that crime want restitution. But,
like every criminal perpetrator does when they get belligerent because they have to pay money.
Wait. We punish bank robbers by sending them to prison. We don't make them pay for it because there's really not much you can do to expect them to pay for it. They need the money. That's why they're stealing in the first place. Also,
we don't ask the great-great-great-grandchildren of the bank robber to pay it back.
Well, I think this guy's onto a new tax scheme that Biden will probably institute. If one of your relatives is in jail, you now have to pay the money for it, or you can go to jail too. This is how they used to do stuff in the old days. Like if you went to jail and you had kids, the kids went there too. So did your wife.
Yeah,
the whole family went in. Why not?
If you owe someone money, then you go to jail, debtor's prison.
Yeah.
Let's bring back debtor's prison. That's a great idea.
3 generations worth of slaves. If you owe money, you're a slave.
But that's precisely what white Americans are doing, and it is exactly what their ancestors did.
Well, let's see. Considering that we live in a fucking country where a burglar can sue the owners of the home that they go into if they hurt themselves by falling through a skylight or cut themselves on a window and win, that says a whole lot about the whole, well, we want restitution because this and this is, no, fuck you. Just because you might have 1,024th slave in you does not mean that you deserve anything.
That reminds me of a comedy sketch on an Australian show, like back in the 90s, where a burglar breaks into the house and the guy is in bed on the phone with his lawyer. He's like, can I shoot him? He's like, yeah, no, I'm really scared for my life. And he's like, okay, so I can shoot him? And then the burglar grabs up and says, hey, you said he couldn't shoot me.
I'm not suggesting that white people should lack representation in Congress, but
that's exactly what they're saying.
Yeah.
No, she just said that she wasn't.
Yeah. Whenever someone says I'm not saying, the next phrase is a lie.
But on the matter of reparations, they shouldn't get a say. Leave it to black people and people of color who should not receive restorative justice. Give the indigenous people the freedom and power to make the decision. I would feel satisfied with their answer because they know what it's like to live in a white-dominated society. For context, indigenous tribes should also receive reparations for genocide induced by Columbus and other European pirates.
Fuck you.
Look, the Indians gave as good as they got, so just because they lost the war because of technology doesn't mean anything. That's a bunch of shit. I'm so sick of this crap. You know who doesn't complain the most? Fucking Indians. You know why? Because they still deal with the Bureau of Indian Affairs, which is garbage, by the way. It should be abolished. fucking A, get over it. Suck it up, you fucking pussy.
Exactly.
You were never in any of these situations. Grow up.
Yeah, and I also guarantee you that the author of this article has probably got a smartphone, a nice house, a nice everything. So there is absolutely no fucking reason why they need to have any kind of reparations or any kind of extra money. You know, the black people in this country, if they think this is such a racist fucking country, go back to fucking Africa and see what life is really like there and see how hard their lives are.
Yeah, and you're sitting and typing on your laptop, which was probably assembled in China, where they actually have concentration camps and slaves. So shut the fuck up. You're using the benefits of slavery right now.
Yeah.
Of modern slavery, not historical.
Gonna skip to the conclusion.
Skip.
America has terrible credit with black people, and instead of trying to consolidate and pay that debt, white people are ducking and dodging. Enough is enough. White people should not get a vote on reparations because we already know their answer is no. Why should this generation and the next generation and the next to continue to be denied justice just because white people don't want America to pay what she owes?
Because what you want isn't justice and you're an idiot? If you ask stupid questions, you're going to get obvious answers.
The cruelty is the point. It's time for black people and people of color to start thinking of the alternative. We collectively demand restorative justice.
No, the alternative is get the fuck out of our country if you don't like it here.
The alternative is get a grip. You don't speak for every single black person in America, you fucking moron.
No, they're a monolith except when they don't want to be.
No. They're always a monolith, unlike Hispanics.
Yeah, according to the president.
We're all unique, and we all think the same way at the same time, and if you say that we're wrong, then you're a racist!
Let's see.
That's racist!
In the absence of that initiative, they will keep saying no, as their forefathers did before them. White people who oppose reparations deny their cruelty at the cost of black humanity, and only naivete could deny that truth.
Only a punch in the fucking face might actually change your mind, but I doubt that's going to help either.
Seriously, these people are creating racists with this nonsense.
Yes. Yeah, they're actually stoking the fire of racism.
Yeah, it's like they want it, like so they could achieve some sort of apartheid state. I don't understand what their end game is.
It's
what
not
are you
like
hoping to get?
It's not like they want it. They want it. They always want it because, like I said at the very start of this article, this isn't about money. It's not about getting reparations. It is about consolidating power. It is about giving themselves more power.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, can you imagine race relations if, not only did you take, a ton of money from white people and give it to black people, but the white people didn't get a say in it? Because there would be no racial resentment there at all.
Yeah.
None.
Like, it would basically be a recruitment campaign for the Klan.
Right? No, if they actually pull off reparations, I would guarantee you that there's going to be a rise of a group like the Klan again. And I think they're pushing in that direction anyway. They keep pushing all this critical race theory nonsense in schools. You're going to start seeing people whose lives are destroyed by this pushing back hardcore in some very violent, disturbing ways.
That's the thing, though. People like this, they want the Klan. They love the Klan. The Klan's their favorite group because the Klan validates all of their absurd claims.
Yeah. Yeah, but it doesn't end well because you get dead bodies, and they don't seem to give a shit about that. They don't understand that if you push people hard enough of any race, they're going to push back. And that never ends well for one group. And I don't think they grasp that concept other than the fact that they love it. They love the idea of being that revolutionary.
Yeah, and also keep in mind that if the Klan were to come back, the people that would die wouldn't be people like this author. They would be just like the faceless black people, black Americans every single day who get murdered and become statistics.
Yeah.
And we know
white people stole their faces too?
And we know from experience that these people that the type of people who write articles like this don't give a shit about the nameless, faceless types. They don't give a flying fuck. They would, if this person had the chance, they would drop a black person off a cliff in order to further their agenda.
Well, it would be internalized white supremacy. Real fast. Thanks, Oki. I'm not in favor of reparations, but if they want to give a fine-ass white girl or an Asian girl a pile of money because the Spanish stole my ancestors' land, then moved them to Oklahoma, I won't complain. Well, I won't complain either. Free shit's awesome, and who doesn't want some Asian booty?
And also, I want to point out that this picture here depicts Santa Claus before he used reindeer.
Are those flying Negroes? I don't understand.
Well, and Kyler made a good point. And Chad goes, you know who always talks about race? Racists.
Are those Santa's 6 to 8 black men?
Yes. Yes.
On Tyrone, on Jamal, on...
No, that's an actual thing. You know that, right?
On Muhammad.
how there are some myths that depict that Santa was helped out by 6 to 8 black men.
I know about Black Pete over in the Netherlands or something.
Yeah.
No, David Sedaris does an excellent a joke thing about that whole premise of Santa Claus being led around by 6 to 8 black men, and then sooner or later the myth turns into they weren't slaves, they were just very good friends that happened to be black of Santa Claus.
All right. Well, at the end of the first article comes the first game, and that game is Sad Libs.
Oh no.
We need to do Sad Libs more often in each episode.
This is the one where I take 4 headlines from Medium, take out one word, and you guys have to fill in that one word Mad Lib style. And then the chat will vote on which one is the best. Alright, so Jack, I need an adjective. Jack Gunsky.
Yeah. Did I do furry yet?
I don't remember you doing it.
Let's go with furry.
All right. And
this is gonna be good. I have a feeling.
And Moonshock, I need another adjective.
Negroid.
Is that an adjective or a noun?
Negroid is an adjective. It describes the. It makes like that person over there is Negroid.
All right. All right. Terry, I need an event.
Oh.
I mean, the Holocaust is the obvious one. So I'll just go that.
Even the Holocaust can make you save money.
And Jack, I need a plural noun.
And Frank's menstrual pads.
Jesus. You're gonna run out of spoon. You're gonna run out of.
I could give you a shorter one, I'm sure, if you need it.
How about just menstrual pads?
Okay.
I don't know. Anne Frank's is pretty descriptive.
Not really. It's obviously who owned it.
All right.
Do you think they got incinerated?
All right, so Jack's is... My boobs are just too big, firm, and furry.
That's horrifying. Written by a fat guy.
So Jack's Italian.
Gotta start calling him Jack Gunskio.
Hey, it's me, a Jack Gagunsky.
Oh.
All right, and Moons. My daughter is Negroid, and I wish she wasn't. Oh, God. All right, and Terry. After Holocaust abortion, is it really justifiable?
Wow.
And Jack Cochran. Boys will be boys, but menstrual pads will be sluts.
Oh, God.
That'll happen, I guess.
All right, and I'll start the poll. Instructions on how to vote are up on the screen.
I think Moonshocks probably takes this one.
I don't know. I like furry boobs.
Somebody clip that.
Terry Diamantis. I like furry boobs. 2021.
Looks like Moon's in the lead so far.
3 votes to 1, I think. Oh, you can't vote twice, Kyler. You cheater.
Again, it just doesn't count.
Yeah, Kyler voted.
Wait, it says he voted twice.
Yeah, you
can
cheater.
vote twice.
I didn't know about this shit.
Yeah, Gunsky would have been voting for himself 8 or 9 times.
Yeah.
What kind of shit you pulling,
be-
Kyler?
I'd be spamming the shit out of that.
All right. And the poll is closed with Moonshock as the winner.
My daughter's Negroid, and I wish she wasn't.
Even with Kyler's cheating, Moonshock still won.
Yeah. Because I am just that good.
A for effort, though, Kyler.
Even though I have a Negroid daughter.
I think Son has some explaining to do then. All right.
Oh god, did you guys watch Bering's video the other day?
Oh no.
No.
No, apparently there's this like YouTube channel that makes these really heavy-handed videos, and one of them is about a white couple who have an adopted black son, and it's the most heavy-handed bullshit you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, is it Darman? Because he does a lot of that type of stuff.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, that guy. Oh man, Nurkish does some videos on him, and holy fuck, that guy's fucking irritating. Like, oh, I'd like to present you with this insane straw man, and then we'll have a moral at the end.
All right. And on to our second article.
Oh no.
Obesity and health are not mutually exclusive.
Oh my god.
Yes,
This
they
was the
are.
article.
Oh no.
This is the article that Son and I tried to read, and we couldn't even get past the first fucking paragraph. We were so pissed off about it.
Excuse me, but I have some Little Caesars I need to finish.
I would just like to say that anyone who talks about fat phobia can be successfully ignored because they're probably not in any station of real relevance.
It's hard to ignore them. They take up so much room.
Well, I mean, look at the woman in that picture right there. Good God.
Yeah.
Dear looker.
I mean,
Yeah,
look-
if
She looks so happy to be that big, too.
I mean, if
has
men can be accused of man spreading, can we accuse people of fat spreading?
Cottage cheese mobility.
Oh.
no, but I've never heard of a person who argues about fat phobia that isn't themselves fat. Have you ever seen
And
thin
female.
people? What?
Fat and female.
Yeah, fat and female. I've never seen a thin person, or a thin male for that matter, argue about fat privilege.
Oh, Keeverdam, you're onto something, but instead of gut spreading, we could call it gunt flopping.
God damn, that's nasty.
Yeah,
See, I prefer fupa to gunt. Fupa's
I do too, but
Fupa's more
fupa
fun
flopping
to
just it's
What the fuck is fupa?
fat upper pussy area.
Oh my god.
It's that area right
Oh.
between the belly
Don't
button
tell me anymore!
and the mound.
Oh my god.
This isn't that kind of show, damn it!
It is now.
There was a question on the table. Somebody had to answer it.
Some questions were never meant to be answered.
Then why are they asked?
Has the hubris of science gone too far?
No, the gunt is critically important in gauging a future fatty. You see Fupa Foundation, you're like, that chick's gonna be fat, and she's gonna have a giant fupa, and it's gonna be gross. And I don't want to climb Mount Doom when I'm trying to slip the one ring in. You know what I'm saying? When Gollum's trying to get in the cavern, you know what I'm saying? But look, it's not my fault. I didn't create the term. It's just the way it is. This is life. You need to know about fupa so you can spot it and be like, look at that fupa. That's hideous. And dudes can get it too, but then it's the fat upper penis area. And You can tell on dudes because like their jeans will split it right at the seam there, and it'll kind of hang over into the thigh area. It's really fucked up. Sorry, I'm in a bit of a mood.
If that area on a man gets too fat, does the penis curl downwards into itself?
No,
no, don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Well, then why are you asking?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
These questions,
and if
Jack,
they plague me.
Jack Cochran, what is the answer to Jack Konski's question?
Well, the penis recedes, generally speaking, into the body, and the fat kind of envelops around it, so their dinkers end up really tiny.
So if you're fat enough, in other words, you kind of develop like a reverse penis, like a man pussy.
Yeah, it turns sort of into a clit. That's why so many fat people look androgynous, and you can't really tell. Like, look at Amberlynn Reed. If she shaved her head, you wouldn't know. You'd be like, Burley got fat.
And if you...
Or why did the moon come down and become the Michelin Man?
Hey, you leave me out of this.
And if you can't find the opening to Mount Doom, you can always go in through the Mines of Moria.
I just take a fat roll and work with that. Look, a fat roll's gonna be full of cottage cheese, so it's greased up. I guess you just do that. I don't know. I don't fuck porkers, so I don't know how any of this works.
Fupas and dinkers. That sounds like something fucking Dr. Seuss would come up with. Fupas and dinkers.
No, it's more of a rhyme methodology, like fupa, doopity doo. Where do you put your dinker on you? You know.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my
No.
God.
Why do you invite me on this show again?
No.
Oh my
Just
head.
for this specific reason.
Oh, thank you. I now have a headache, but it was fucking funny.
This is wrong, man. We shouldn't be doing this, man. I got a bad feel about this.
Oh, he's gone full Bill Paxton.
The Bill Paxton Collective. He's the same dude in every movie.
Oh my God. Why would you put her in charge?
Game over, man. Game over.
Game over.
You see the fupa on that chick? I dated her in high school. It was just a little mound then. I was like, it'll be fine. She'll do some sit-ups. No, man, no.
That was Mount Fupa.
Her vagina mostly comes out at night. Mostly.
Fupa's so big, it's in both time zones.
Oh, God.
It's about to collapse. She's going to blow, Captain.
I promote health, not obesity. She's just promoting a bad lifestyle by saying she's beautiful when she weighs that much. She's not healthy, she's fat. You won't be body positive when you get heart disease and die. These are all real comments that I've seen on social media. The first one appeared in the caption of a post by a skinny influencer who claims she is body positive, but is clearly
influencer.
But is clearly fat-phobic based on those words.
What the fuck is a skinny influencer?
She influences skinny people?
I guess.
Why not just shorten it to skinfluencer?
Dave.
What?
That sounds more like a porn thing, though.
The rest of the quotes come from comments on TikTok or Instagram posts that were directed to people in bigger bodies.
Well, anybody who takes anything on TikTok or Instagram seriously just needs to fucking get their head checked.
Yeah, TikTok is the visual Tumblr. But yeah, it's directed at people with bigger bodies because those fat asses keep saying that they're healthy. Like, you're wheezing. I can hear you when you're talking sitting down. You fat fuck. Look, I'm overweight. Yeah, you know what? I have a better chance of getting heart disease and diabetes because I'm fat. You know what, fatty? That's life. Suck it up, you stupid pussy. Oh my God.
Fatty.
Yeah.
And believe me, there's way more where that came from. I think she's just talking about her belly. There's something there's something seriously wrong with this rhetoric. And if you don't notice it, you aren't paying attention.
Oh, it's going to be pretty hard to miss, so I'm sure that everyone notices it.
The biggest problem here is that obesity and health are being distinguished as two separate things. These comments encourage people to think that the two are mutually exclusive. That if you're healthy, you aren't obese. And if you are obese, you can't possibly be healthy.
You can't. It's scientifically impossible.
Let's unpack this and talk about why it's harmful.
because you weigh a lot and you're going to get clogged arteries. And, oh, you meant the other thing. Okay.
Or somebody could say they're having their intestines unimpacted. It's like, let's unpack this and talk about why it's harmful.
Looking at someone's weight has nothing to do with their health. Sure.
Bullshit. What?
Sure, there are data that suggest that obesity can be correlated with things like high cholesterol and high blood pressure. But in most cases, it is rapid weight gain that causes those things, not obesity itself.
Well, if you laid out the fucking cheeseburgers, I think you'd be just fine.
Yeah, a 50-year love of ham is going to give you problems no matter how you cut it.
Yeah, but if you consume 5,000 calories a day and you sit down all day long and you do nothing, then yeah, that's going to cause weight gain. That's on you.
I feel a little judged, but you're not wrong.
Not everyone who is obese has those issues. And there are plenty of people who aren't obese that struggle with things like high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and heart disease.
True, you're just statistically more likely, and the fatties that don't suffer with it are what we call dead.
Yeah, I mean, the point is not that only obese people have medical issues. The point is that being obese massively, appropriately enough, increases the risks of all sorts of things.
Hey, she's trying to fight a straw man here, okay?
Trying, but she's so tired from sweating out all that lard.
Saying that fat doesn't directly cause any sort of medical affliction is kind of like saying that it's not the knife that stabs you, it's the bleeding. It's not the knife that kills you, it's the bleeding out that kills you.
Yeah, well, in this case, it's the Twinkies, but I get your analogy.
Well, in her case, the knife wouldn't even reach any vital organs. The point is, the way someone looks does not determine their physical health. Furthermore, there are plenty of very thin people in the world who are rarely ridiculed, despite the fact that being severely underweight is also correlated with a plethora of health problems, like digestive...
Yeah, no one ever says anything bad about anorexics. That's a very healthy lifestyle.
Yeah,
obviously.
Like you could probably hide 10 or 11 anorexic people behind one gigantic fatty.
Like digestive issues, malnourishment, organ dysfunction, etc. I'm not advocating that we criticize thin people and comment on all of their social media posts that they are malnourished and need to eat.
Bullshit.
So why do we feel the need to ridicule people in bigger bodies for the same health concerns?
The way this person makes it...
What about Eugenia Cooney? Everything I've ever seen people write about her on the internet is she's underweight, dangerously so. She needs to take better care of herself.
Right. Yep. And the way that this person is saying it, so why do we feel the need to ridicule people in bigger bodies? They're making it sound like having a bigger body is like they put on a suit. Oh, this suit makes me look fat because it's a bigger body. So, like, is there like a skinny person in there that intentionally goes and puts on a gigantic fat suit because, hey, look, I want to be fat for the day? No, you can't word it like that.
First of all, the reason you don't see people criticizing people for weighing too little is because there aren't many underweight people in society today. Everyone's fat. A whole bunch of fat people, not very many skinny people. That's why you don't see it. But second of all, even if that was the case, even if there were tons of skinny people out there who weren't getting this criticism, that doesn't preempt a fat person from being criticized for being unhealthy. It doesn't make being fat any less unhealthy just because more people are talking about it.
Let's be honest, they're not health concerns. They're criticisms and fat phobia, and their health is none of our business anyway.
The only time I'm going to be fat phobic if I see some gigantic tubbo rolling toward me and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to fucking fear for my life. Otherwise, I'm going to get fucking crushed.
If you see a chubberlocks rolling down the hill at you, you know they're like trying to jog or something and they're picking up a little speed, even if it's not a steep incline. That scene from Raiders of the Lost Ark is going through your head.
Yeah.
And you're like in fight or flight mode, and you know you can't win in a fight. So you just got to run and hope you can outlive whatever is tumbling toward you, because as soon as that thing hits the ground, it's turning into an avalanche.
Yes.
Oh, and I should say that in the current state of society, your health absolutely is my business, because the next words out of your mouth are going to be asking for some sort of donation from the government, some sort of tax dollars, which are going to come from me. So
you're already
fuck
paying
you.
that, though. You're already paying that with Obamacare and Medicare and Medicaid. You're paying for fat people because they're disabled technically, so they get a bunch of free money and free services, and they're bogging down the system. And
exactly.
Yeah, it's they're a blight.
Well, and how many times do you see these gigantic fucking lard asses on those scooters because they fucking ate themselves into a gigantic body because their fat asses can't walk around anymore? Yet they go and get a free scooter. Those scooters aren't cheap.
No, they're not. You ever seen one at Walmart where the scooter is like struggling and you can hear it crying?
You can actually hear it grinding away. It's like,
it's you can almost hear it going, I think I can.
But you want to know what the biggest is? Whenever I see somebody in one of those things, especially a gigantic, big old fatty, what makes me laugh the most is when they actually go into reverse and it beeps. An automatic allowed or like a legal insult to a person. It's like, hey, look, I'm going to make sure that this person has. Everyone looks at them because they're going in reverse. So
well, do you want to get run over by them? To be fair,
just stand behind it, waving like flashlights. Like the people waving planes.
Safety vest on.
Yeah, but the whole notion that this is some sort of innocuous condition that doesn't affect anyone is total bullshit. If you are fat in America and you're utilizing public services, you are utilizing my money and everyone else's money to your personal benefit. So don't pretend that you are not having any sort of negative impact on anyone else, because you are, you fat sack of shit.
Yeah, believe it or not.
I like the video where like there's this guy with a trombone sort of following fat people around.
Yeah, Stewie. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've seen Stewie doing it, but I think I saw a real live reenactment of that as well.
Oh, jeez.
Well, and believe it or not, America isn't the fattest country in the world, though. There actually is. There actually is. I don't even think that we're number 2. But I mean, if you want to look up the fattest country, go for it. But I don't think the United States is the fattest country.
Yeah, it's funny. Kiefer Dan brings up black people, and I think that it would be very funny because perhaps we are paying for reparations in a way. If we're paying for the obesity problem in America, then black people are getting a very disproportionate amount of that service money.
Here,
just saying.
Well, speaking of black people, fat phobia is a race issue as well as a body issue.
Of course it is.
Okay, here, just real quick. United States ranks 12th on the rank of percentage of obese population. And the first one is Nauru, wherever the fuck that is. But there's like a bunch of Pacific Islanders. Those are really fat because they've got we're talking 75% or more are obese.
Yeah, I got different results. Mine says the US is 18th, and that the biggest is Samoa.
Samoa on mine is number 8, but I mean it's like the Cook Islands, Palau, Marshall Islands, and Pacific Islanders in and of themselves. I mean, there are most of them, and then even after that, you got the Middle Eastern countries. Those are a bunch of fatties too.
I've got Nauru as second on my list. So.
Okay, but yeah. Anyway.
Let's see. We're all probably familiar with the fact that obesity itself is determined by a person's BMI. We probably also know that BMI is a terrible measure of health. In fact, the BMI scale itself was originally adapted for white men and white men only.
Bullshit.
So when people are being compared against BMI statistics, they're really just comparing themselves to what's normal for white men. Go figure.
Way to go.
I thought the real problem with BMI was that it didn't take muscle mass into account. So you get professional athletes coming up as obese because they're built like brick shithouses, and for their height, their muscle weighs so much that they show up as obese, and so that obviously isn't a very reliable measure. But for non-athletes, I thought BMI was pretty all right.
Okay, I got an idea here. I'm going to create a superhero for fat people. He's going to be called the Crisco Kid. And he rides a deep fried couch that's shaped like a potato. So he'll call it potato. It'll be the deep fried couch potato. And he's going to fight fat phobia and bigotry while eating, mainly.
Is his sidekick called Hush Puppy?
No. Think for a sidekick. It would be the Fleshy Blumpkin. That's what his name will be, the Fleshy Blumpkin. And it'll just be this really overweight dog.
In a terrible accident involving a radioactive deep fryer.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a McDonald's accident.
You know the guy who broke the ice cream machine? That was him.
Yeah, he was actually the long lost son, the last son of Ham Planet.
Well, have you ever watched any of EFAP's streams? Every Frame of Pause.
I've heard that name several times. I don't think I may have watched one episode of that somewhere along.
Well, it's pretty good, and just the reason I bring it up is because they have a running joke where, Movie Bob, where they've done videos from him, and they have a running joke that he's like Magneto, except he controls sugar, and is not, and they call him Diabeto.
Diabeto, nice.
It just reminded me of that. All right.
Wow.
In addition, the body positivity movement, which was started to combat such fat phobia, was pioneered largely by black women. But yet we often forget that part of history and whitewash body positivity when we practice it today. Arguably one of the biggest reasons that fat phobia even exists is because our beauty standards are so white-centric. As Ashley Shackelford says in her article, "The body positivity movement still looks like white feminism." Fat women and femmes of color are ignored.
You mean Fox?
Yep.
What the fuck is a femme?
It's a woman.
I think that's so they can include like feminine guys.
Yeah, femboys.
Oh God, no.
While those who are lighter skinned are hyper-humanized. This works in conjunction with fat phobia. Darker skinned fat black women and femmes are demonized and juxtaposed as the direct opposite of the beauty standards that promote white, thin, femme bodies as a universal goal. So white people especially, the next time you catch yourself being fat phobic or witness someone else exhibiting fat phobia, speak up. Think of all the internalized and externalized racism that is influencing our beauty standards and our quick willingness to judge people in bigger bodies.
The fuck does race have anything to do with this? Stop pulling in bullshit.
No, they got to get all the little Legos from the progressive stack in there so they can have a super high number and they can feel even more oppressed and special.
Wow, talk about your fucking virtue signaling.
If Oprah doesn't get you hard, you're a racist.
Yeah, obviously.
God, no. I would probably. I would turn into one of these fucking people. What was that? What was the term that you said? The one that I was laughing my ass off about. The fupa. The fupa.
Oh, the fupa.
That'd turn me into a fupa if I saw Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah. If Oprah's fupa doesn't turn you on, you are a bigot. And if she whips out a feminine penis, you're a transphobe too. You're a fat transphobe.
Fat phobia is a race issue, and by staying quiet about this, we're causing even more damage.
Dinkers.
Trans fat phobia is a growing problem, Frosted. You're not taking this seriously enough.
Skip ahead a little bit. No one talks to a depressed person and says, "God, just lighten the fuck up. You're the one who fell into this rut."
That sounds like depression phobia to me.
No one talks to a person with diabetes and tells them it was your fault for never exercising and eating too much sugar. You shouldn't be surprised.
Bullshit.
Yeah, they do.
I've heard that said all the time.
No one ever says to a person with skin cancer, geez, bet you really wish you used sunscreen back then, don't you? Well, suck it up.
Yeah.
You should have made better decisions.
I would say all of those things.
Yeah, it turns out sunscreen might cause cancer too.
Yeah, but it's easy to avoid the sun. I don't go outside. I don't experience sun.
Yeah.
It's very easy. Well, okay, there's the portal, but not that kind of sun.
Hey, fucker. Oh wait, no, I shouldn't say that either.
Well, that's exactly what I'm alluding to. Yeah.
You get the idea. As a society, obesity is virtually the only condition that we ever blame people for having. And
whiteness.
Well, yeah, but they deserve that.
Oh yeah, my bad.
And the reason we do so has nothing to do with health and everything to do with fat phobia. Gaining weight and living in a bigger body is not a flaw, but we treat it like it is, and that's not okay.
Because it is a flaw.
Yeah, it's a flaw that will kill you. You might fall through a floor. Things aren't designed to hold you. People don't love you as much, even though there's more of you to love. Yeah, there's lots of things obesity does to you.
Well, no, I think it makes sense that they don't get as much love because you love a person, but that love has to be spread over a bigger area, so it gets
true.
diluted.
And
that's true.
And fittingly, the concluding paragraph is labeled takeaways.
Food.
You are correct, sir.
You are cut off.
She had to rewrite this article because she accidentally ate the flash drive it was on.
Fat phobia is all over the place, and more people need to be talking about it and confronting it. It plagues social media, advertisements, and even finds its way to creep into our personal conversations and interactions. But size is not a determinant of health, period.
See, the feminists always bring periods into it.
True.
And obesity and health are not mutually exclusive. There are so many things that weave into weight, and so many reasons why we glorify thin bodies and condemn fat ones.
Yeah, the thin ones look better.
Yes.
We need to start examining what's at the core of our own fat phobia. A specific thing being racism. And work to dismantle those biases. Health comes at every size, and it's time that, as a society, we start realizing it. So love your body, love others' bodies unconditionally. Leave people to be in charge of their own health. Appreciate the uniqueness and beauty around you, because there is so much of it.
It's all sweaty and gross.
Yeah.
But when they say love other bodies unconditionally, then why is rape a crime?
Yeah, I mean, consent is a condition.
Exactly.
Oh God, get that picture off of there, please.
All I am picturing right now is some big moo cow sweating on her couch, eating a big tub of ice cream, going, "I'm beautiful! You must love me!" And her cat's like trying to avoid her falling on them.
You're all racist.
She's just
What's that song? Yeah, I am beautiful no matter what they say. Words
Yeah,
can't bring me down.
I was just gonna say, Terry, she's got on a loop that song.
Yeah, Christina Aguilera is beautiful. I'm beautiful no matter what they say.
Well, do you notice that?
Words can't bring me down.
You notice in that picture where all of the other people are in comparison with that tubbo right there? There's nobody around her. They're all on the opposite side of the pool.
Yeah, they're afraid she'll fart. Cause a tsunami.
No, she's gonna get out and the water level will go down 2 feet.
Yeah. I just can't. I can't help it. Look, you're disgusting if you're a big giant fatty. Just lose some weight. It's really not that hard. You don't have to be that fat. And sitting there, comfort eating, and be like, Magic Shell loves me while putting Doritos into your ice cream really is not helpful.
Or
I can confirm it's not that hard because I bet not one of us has a boner looking at that picture.
Damn right we don't.
No.
I don't care if someone wants to be fat. Just don't try and tell me that you're actually perfectly healthy.
Well, is she looking at? I mean, is the person with the camera holding a pizza or something like that? That's why she's got that big old grin. She's like, "Oh, I want out."
Or she just wants to eat the cameraman.
He looks like a pizza I ate once.
All right. And now it's time for the second game. Oh, we lost one. All right.
She has fucking muscle memory of a pizza. And she's like, "You look like a pizza." I remember every pizza I've ever eaten.
Your wiener looks like a pepperoni stick.
And now it's time for the second game, which is for the chat only, Jack.
Yeah. Chat only, guys.
And that is the caption contest, where I'll show a photo of a political figure or event, and the chat has to come up with a caption for it, and whichever one we like the best, I'll tweet.
The very first thing that came out, she saw ribs.
Oh, come on. She hasn't seen her ribs in years. All right. And the one that we like the best, I'll tweet out after the show.
Oh, God. She saw ribs.
All right. And this week's photo is the totally unbiased cop crying at the January 6th commission.
Oh, God.
Oh, this guy.
All right, so in the chat, start coming up with captions, and we'll figure out which one is best.
She saw the photographer's ribs.
Man, I'm having trouble thinking of something.
I can't believe he said something that dumb.
Maybe he says, "I was the cameraman in that picture."
Yeah, he's actually recounting the horrors of having to feed her.
Will says,
It was
"I
Throw
can't believe
bonbons in the cage.
It was
They'll
worse
be
than
fine.
Iraq.
I can't believe he
That
said
rack of
something
ribs
like
she
that."
ate? What?
Yeah, no captions, man. We got one from Will, and that's it.
My pussy hurts.
That white boy did not just say that. My pussy hurts.
Stop saying that some people did something at the Capitol.
Insurrection? Are you fucking kidding me? So basically, a year and a half's worth of fucking riots and shit, burning stuff down. Those are mostly peaceful protests, but you get a bunch of very, very peaceful people marching on the Capitol. That's insurrection.
After seeing that fat chick, I'll never get an insurrection again.
I mean, at worst, it was like a medium-sized riot.
No, what you'll get, Terry, is an interaction.
One person died as a result, and it was one of the protesters by a fucking cop.
Yeah.
And this is the same group of people that loses their fucking shit whenever somebody dies by a cop.
Oh.
And this was actually the cop's fucking fault.
Her fupa was just so sob, it was everywhere, breaks out crying.
He's like, her poop was just so big. He was everywhere.
Man, we really should have rehearsed this shit together.
Oh, thank you, Jack, for introducing me to that lovely term.
I'm surprised you didn't know that. It's been around for
Yeah.
decades.
I have never heard of it before, ever.
All right,
Nor have I ever heard the term dinkers either.
Oh, yeah. That's a buddy of mine used to say that all the time.
I'll give it about 10 more seconds, so get in your
I
caption
remember
now.
when Ethan Klein from H3H3 was like doing his legal fund. He called it FUPA because that was like the big joke.
Well, I already know which one I like.
I can usually think of something. I can't. Get
I like
anything
how you
from
had to
this.
put on screen that Gunsky is prohibited.
That's always done.
A little asterisk.
I actually haven't done it in a while.
Because you've been prohibited.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, wasn't fun getting muted by you fucking bastards.
No,
Well,
Keeve.
then don't cheat, and we won't mute you.
Keeve, we know what you wanted to put up there. That's fine.
All right. So I'll call it there. Which one do you guys think is best?
I love my pussy hurts.
I gotta go evolve potato.
I like them all, but I'd have to go with Evolves on this one.
Oh, the fupa.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, it's kind of an inside joke, and I generally try to avoid inside jokes for the caption contest.
Not necessarily, because he is a black man, and black men do tend to like bigger girls.
Fine, what the hell, I'll go with Evolved.
I'll switch my vote. Okay, Evolved wins.
All right.
I am really, really disappointed that nobody in chat came up with, oh my god, Jerry Nadler has an insurrection in his pants right now.
I actually didn't see any news about this particular issue because I've been trying to avoid all the bullshit surrounding January 6th.
All right.
So I actually don't even know what's going on in this photo.
They're all crying like little girls because, oh my god, there was a riot and it was scary and we were scared. It was awful. People kept walking orderly through this building that we let them in.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
all,
that's the biggest thing. They
and
let
all
them
the,
in.
and all the cops who testified just happened to be ones who hate Trump.
Yeah.
All
Look,
right.
some of the cops got beat up. I'll give them that. There was fights breaking out of the doorways. But a lot of those people were agitators, and I'd be curious to know how many of them were FBI agents.
Well,
Yeah.
what I loved the most was that even though there's this big insurrection and everybody in Congress was so in danger that they still managed to get back and complete their business that night.
Yeah,
I
and
mean-
there was like, what, some minor vandalism where they knocked papers on the floor? Fuck off. That's not even a real riot.
We already know that there was like the January 6th plot, the bridge bombing plot supposedly, where it was what, like 3 guys and 6 FBI agents plotting it together. I mean, who knows how many feds were a part of January 6th?
Well, we're never going to know. Same reason they don't talk about the pipe bomb thing, because I'd be willing to bet that was an op too.
Well, I want to know why
Yeah.
they're not going after the cops for just letting these people run right by them.
The FBI is a hammer in search of a nail, and where they cannot find one, they will create one.
Yeah, me and Monkey were talking about this before it happened. When we heard there was going to be a rally, I said, "Don't go. That's a setup."
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I was right.
Mhm.
But we said that
totally
for
was.
days. We got so much shit. We lost viewers. People that were pissed off at us just never came back. I lost a couple Patreon subscribers. Yeah, it was fucking brutal, but we were right. They've been using this as propaganda since, and they will for years to come.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, congrats to Evolve Potato for winning. And let's see. On to our third article.
Jesus, we've only been through 2 articles and it's almost 1 already.
All right. I believe my co-hosts are familiar with Rebecca Stevens A.
Oh, hell yes.
Oh God, why? You don't want to know.
Well, she's
My
just
favorite.
She's a black woman who writes about how everything is always racist, all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Terry-
she's your Princess Weeks. Got
Terry's
it.
got a thing for her.
Yeah. Well, just I wanted to remind you who the author was before I show you the headline of the article. My black friends
no.
don't read my racism articles.
Wow.
Wow.
Because it re-traumatizes them all over again.
I'm sure.
Sure.
So we
You
got-
just keep telling yourself that.
So we got some mocha and some dark chocolate right there in that picture.
Yeah, maybe your friends aren't assholes like you.
I'm a
No,
pretentious bitch.
if they weren't assholes, why would they be friends with us?
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah.
Maybe it does re-traumatize them because only friends of this woman could be nearly as insufferable as this woman.
Yeah, I don't want to know what's going on underneath this photo.
Well, I think the one girl's sleeping and the other one's just resting bitch face.
Well, that or she's on some fucking Quaaludes and the other one's just like,
Get ready to Bill Cosby her.
See, these are what we should be doing the caption contest with.
Biden stiffed me and my friend's in a coma for 5 years.
This is the most bored fingering I've ever seen.
No, see, that's why that darker skinned chick's in a coma. That's why she's got short hair. Biden sniffed all her luxurious locks up. He's a hair vampire. It's to preserve his youth.
Like, I want to touch your hair.
I was on the phone with my black friend Savannah the other day. She was complimenting me for my courage in writing about racism. You are speaking for us all. We are so proud of you, she said. We started talking about the racial microaggressions she was facing at work, and then she said, Rebecca, I have to tell you something. Her voice sounded stern, almost ominous. I was worried that something was wrong. I stopped reading your articles about racism, Rebecca. I had to. Every time I read one, I could so strongly relate to what you were saying. It was as though I was reliving a similar racist experience all over again, and it made me very upset.
Well, she's affected by microaggressions, so she's obviously a thin-skinned bitch.
well, it's like you keep saying right, first world problems. Fuck off.
But I think this is like the definition of humble bragging. Is like,
Yeah.
oh, my articles are so deep and impactful that my black friends can't even read them because they get traumatized. Oh, okay.
Trust me, Terry, we haven't even gotten to that part yet. Let's see. The good thing, though, is that it made me realize I hadn't processed or accepted the racism that has happened to me in my life. So I am now doing therapy to help me manage the trauma.
Oh my god. You know what? Fuck this. I'll be right back.
To be fair, she probably does need therapy, but not for that reason.
Thank you, friend, for putting me in therapy. At first, I was surprised, even a little hurt, but as she continued to speak, I could hear the pain in her voice. I put myself in her shoes. While writing helped me process these negative racist experiences, reading about them actually reminded my readers of their own traumatic experiences and reopened painful wounds. I don't want to hurt you. Should I stop writing about racism? I asked.
Yes.
No, you can't. You have to continue writing about it. If the world doesn't know what we are going through, there'll never be an end to racism.
I'll take things that didn't happen for 600, Alex.
Yeah.
You need to continue, Rebecca. You must continue. For us and for our children, you must, she implored.
Yeah. That definitely happened.
Yes.
Yeah, in her head.
Our conversation stayed with me for days afterward. I felt guilty about re-traumatizing my friends and family and all black and brown people that read my work. I don't write to hurt, so knowing that I might be causing pain demotivated me for a short while. And then I began to think about social change. Throughout history, one of the main drivers of social change and ending oppression has always been, amongst other things, writing. If black people do not share their racism experiences and how traumatic they are, white people will not know how much they are suffering. To mobilize society against racism, we need people to know what we are going through, and the only way that happens is through education.
No, you're not going through anything. Shut the fuck up, crazy lady. Nobody's burning crosses on your yard.
Hey,
nobody's dropping the N-bomb.
Her friend is dealing with trauma, Jack.
Microaggressions. Oh my god, so awful. Somebody was like, oh, your hair looks kind of frizzy today, or some bullshit like that. Or like, oh, that looks really good with your skin tone. Fuck off, you babies. Society of pussies.
You're very eloquent for a black person.
But writing aside, one of my biggest concerns today is realizing how much black people are suffering from racism. It is wreaking significant havoc and is destroying hearts, minds, and potential. Before last year's global racial reckoning in the wake of George Floyd's murder, my black friends and I didn't talk much about racism. It was like we all suffered alone in silence. Since
No one spoke about racism at all until George Floyd died.
Nope, never happened.
Yeah, we're still living under Jim Crow, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is almost as bad, if not worse, than actual slavery. Oh my God, I am so traumatized by mean words on the internet.
Since we are sharing our racist experiences a lot more, we are consoling each other, sharing how we cope with causal racism and racial microaggressions. We are providing peer-to-peer therapy to one another.
There, Queen. You're the bestest ever. They just don't recognize it because they're white supremacy, Queen. Fuck off.
Just the other day, my friend Savannah was sharing how her group of friends was helping her manage microaggressions she is currently facing in her new job. If it wasn't for these ladies, I'd have already quit. There's something comforting about being able to talk about these situations to people that are going through something similar.
Hence my explanation that Medium is a therapy journal.
Kind of is.
It's interesting to learn about their tried and tested strategies for coping with these situations. It makes me feel like I can manage the situation better. I could hear the relief in her voice. But the reality is that there's only so much therapy that one can do.
Do more.
Things need to change. Our lives need to matter because right now they don't.
Why do you think your life doesn't matter?
That's why she's in therapy.
I mean, have you read her articles?
Fair point. But no, she said she's in peer therapy, like where they're talking to each other. Is she in actual therapy, or is this some like BetterHelp shit?
Mm.
I mean, what is she supposed to trust non-black people?
It's a good point.
That's fair.
You can't.
Yeah. They might give microaggressions like, "Would you like a black licorice?"
Oh shit!
But the reality...
You've got plenty of fried chicken and watermelon.
For the record, everybody loves fried chicken and watermelon.
Well,
yeah, I don't know why that became a black thing, but
I don't think we're allowed to like it anymore. Isn't that a black thing now?
I don't know. I can't keep up.
White people not allowed to like fried chicken watermelon.
I give it about 2 more years before Colonel Sanders is race swapped.
Yeah. But the reality is that there's only so much therapy that one can do. Things need to change. Our lives need to matter because right now they don't. We need to be able to feel physiologically safe in white spaces. We can't be followed around in stores when we go shopping. We cannot be arbitrarily and negatively stereotyped as always being angry and or violent.
and she'll kill you if you disagree.
And cannot be held to a higher standard than white people. We cannot
maybe lower that crime rate in your neighborhood, huh?
We cannot be treated as though we are inferior. Black people in white-dominated societies are all saying the same thing. Enough is enough. We are physically and mentally tired of racism. It is poisoning...
You haven't experienced it! Shut up, lady!
Didn't you hear about all the microaggressions?
The microaggressions are not real racism. And I'm pretty sure her worst fear is like her worst real-world problem is that somebody might say something mildly offensive that isn't even related to her. It's directed at somebody else.
So someone saw her hair and wanted to touch it.
No, nobody does that. That's weird.
That's like slavery times 50.
If your biggest problem is something that can be qualified as a word with micro as the prefix, you don't have any problems. You don't have any real problems.
The only solution to microaggressions is micro-reparations. Very small amounts of money.
Oh, they're like microtransactions. Every time you say something offensive, $1 gets taken out of your Google Play account.
That's right.
Does this mean like if I want to say like Shit, I lost where I was going with it. Never mind. Keep going.
Ah, look at your white privilege being allowed to forget funny things, you monster.
No, I was gonna say if you sleep with a black woman and call her a nigger at the same time, do those two cancel out?
No, because your white privilege is entering her then.
Yeah, I mean, you're white, so it's pretty much rape.
Yeah, you're evil alabaster savage dinker going into her Mother Earth cavern. That's a queen's lair there. That's not for you. You ain't no king.
It's
savage is still the best.
It's the homeland. It's like Africa in there.
Oh god.
So it's really poor and dry.
And barren. Oh,
We want racism to end with us. We want our children to live in a racism-free world. Thank you for reading my perspective.
Yeah, go back in time 20 years and you probably could do that. Fucking idiots. Seriously, these people are baiting to create the problems they think they're actually fighting.
All right, and now it's time for the last game of the night, and that is Poe or No Gender Edition.
Oh dear
God.
Terry's favorite.
Yeah.
Where I will give you 3 genders, 2 of which are from the LGBTIA wiki, which means they're 100% real. And one of them I made up. And you have to figure out which one I made up.
Well, the trick is they're all made up. We just have to figure out which one Frosted made up.
And I'll even give short descriptions of each one. Alright, so gender A. Sea Shantic. A music gender that is related to sea shanties. Gender B. FNAF gender. A xenogender in which one's gender is connected to the game series Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh my god.
And gender C. DLC gender. A xenogender related to downloadable content and other video game add-ons.
Oh, no. Just no.
I would tell you my gender, but you have to pay extra.
Alright, and I'll start the poll for the chat.
I'm going to guess that it's B.
And the thing is, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if B actually was real because of all those.
Oh, me too.
I wouldn't be surprised if all these are real.
But no, Five Nights at Freddy's has such a fanatical devotion in its like fan base that I would be surprised if that's not real. Like,
Isn't that the same game? Go ahead, Terry.
I think that's almost certainly on the wiki.
I mean, isn't Five Nights the same game that idiot Markiplier kept screaming to?
Mm-hmm.
That guy needs a serious
kick
kick in the
I think I'll
nuts.
go C.
Alright.
I want to say A only because it just sounds so funny.
Alright, so let's see. Jack was B, Terry C, Moon is A.
Yeah.
Jack?
I'm also going to go with A.
It just sounds funny.
These are all believable. It's the sad part is that there's some dumb fuck out there that thinks that's their actual gender.
It really is.
Alright, looks like the chat leaned A. So, the fake one... C is fake.
Woohoo!
Damn.
So, like, what's your sexuality? Call of Duty Zombies.
And let's see. Here are the flags for there's Sea Shantic,
Oh, I gotta see this.
and there's Five Nights at Freddy gender.
Oh my
no.
god.
You know, it's sad that I'm going to need a degree in heraldry to figure out all these fucking flags. Because seriously, like all the kingdoms in England didn't have this many fucking flag. Oh, ahoy! What gender art thou? Oh, I am Shantic. And this is my comrade who we have a peace treaty with, Fef Gender.
We need a FUPA gender.
So there's no DLC gender, but is there a season pass gender?
Oh, there you go. There you go, Terry. There's a super seducer gender.
Oh, I saw. I already said. That's good.
And here's the extra sad part is that Five Nights at Freddy gender has subgenders within it for each character.
Of course.
Oh no!
Wow.
What?
Why wouldn't it?
Here we go, Foxy gender.
For different characters. And I've never played it, so I don't actually know any of the characters, but
No, me neither.
I know that there's Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and the yellow one.
I tried playing that game once, and I was like, this is fucking dumb. I get why some people like it, I suppose, if you're like somebody that doesn't have a very good sense of horror. But, I mean, the concept would have made a cool movie, but the video game is kind of stupid.
It kind of reminds me of Night Trap, but worse. Because the whole game is just watching the cameras.
Yeah.
Huh?
all right. And now to our final article. Lady superheroes in yellow spandex.
I hate you.
You agreed to come on.
When comics mitigate female power with barely their costumes.
Her entire fucking body is covered. So shut the hell up.
Yeah, except for that little face hole in her ears.
I know, yeah, those ear holes. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Are we not allowed to acknowledge that women have breasts or anything?
No.
You can see that she has a breast and has breasts and an ass, so it's not good.
Oh, and
enough.
those hips. And the
You want to know
hips, too.
something funny? In Australia, it's actually against the law to depict someone without, with too small of a breast because they consider it child porn.
What?
Wow.
I'm not kidding.
wow.
That's a real thing in Australia.
That's like the one Australian law I can get behind.
Like if your tits are too small, then that's too close to child porn, so it's legal.
Sorry, ma'am. Your A cups are not good enough. You're going to need to go over to the breast enlargement, or we can't let you in.
Wow. So,
Pretty much,
so Riley Reid is like persona non grata in Australia.
I guess. Yeah.
Riley Reid.
As opposed to Riley Dennis. So.
Ugh, good.
Exactly.
A tale of two Rileys.
Jean Grey was my favorite X-Men character when I was growing up. Brassy, bold, and utterly gorgeous, she was everything I hoped to someday become. Now
Soon to be replaced by a black woman.
now that I am all grown up, I fancy I see a resemblance. I too,
Fancy.
I too am intuitive, brave, compassionate. I too am trying to find a new way to be a woman in a society that thinks womanhood merely means a girlhood that extends forever and ever. Amen.
Hashtag I too.
I too am trying to find a way to claim my own true adult voice, to stand strong in the face of the forces of evil, to take up space in the external world and be seen for the hero I hope to become.
Wow.
Does she also have psychic powers?
Yet as I reflect on my earliest understandings of womanhood, I am met with an unfortunate realization. Jean Grey was crafted by men.
Dun dun dun!
All of the things I love about her are things that her male writers love about women. The other parts of being a woman, the ones no female superhero has yet to embody, those are the ugly parts, the unlovable parts. The rage.
Oh, fat rolls?
Yes. The rage, the experiences of sexual assault, the everyday humiliations, the grief as I count off all the moments in my life when sexism barricaded me from what I truly want. These realities take up no space in the life of Jean Grey.
So, in other words, you want superheroes that complain about their periods for the whole episode?
And they complain about misogyny. I can hear this author's gumballs turning into powdered eggs as we speak.
Yes, I'm sure the X-Men kids cartoon wanted to have Jean Grey get sexually assaulted, but you know.
I think that was some Rule 34 stuff that she was reading. I don't know.
Female.
Oh, sorry. This is just projection. This is just the author wants the kids cartoon to be as miserable as she is. That's all there is to it. This woman's a miserable cunt, and they will never be happy, and they want everybody else to be unhappy with them.
The real problem for me is I no longer take claims of sexual assault seriously, because like every time it turns out to be something like, oh, he tried to kiss me when I didn't want it. Well, that's not sexual assault.
Yeah, I just hear claim of sexual assault, and I'm just like, you're just making it up for attention, aren't you? And that's funny because that's the thing they accuse us of doing, but the only reason we do it is because they fucking lie so much. And people like this are called out in their lie all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And people are so completely unable to call out the bullshit for what it is that I am predisposed to not believe them.
Yeah, it's the same with PTSD. Like, once upon a time, if I heard someone had PTSD, I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry to hear that. Now I think, someone called you by the wrong gender, didn't they?
Exactly.
I just looked at the image that Moonshock linked to, and wow, she's got a long way to go.
Yeah, and don't even try calling someone a racist now. Nowadays, it's taken so far that if you call someone a racist, I'm like, he's probably all right. He's probably a pretty good guy. I should talk to him.
Yeah, what the terms are so watered down that they mean nothing, and it's sad because there are actual racists out there. There are actual victims of sexual assault. There are victims of gender dysmorphia, and these people should be, looked at in the way they should. But instead, we get these people that water it down. So it's all about them, and it's a bunch of nonsense bullshit, and they make everyone else just like, whatever, that doesn't mean anything anymore.
It's the equivalent of like parents telling their daughter, stay away from that boy, he's trouble. It just makes you want to, it just makes you want to go with that boy.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it's cry wolf, too. You sit there and scream racism enough, nobody's going to pay attention when there is real racism.
Well, not just that, but when someone screams racism, I'm now more inclined to believe that the person screaming racism is the actual racist. I'll be like, you probably just hate white people.
Yeah,
and that's
you're
it.
Probably right.
Female superheroes can fly, they can fight, and they can love. But what they can't do is fight back against the categorically biggest threats to women's health and safety. There are other things female superheroes can't do, at least in the television shows I grew up watching. She-Ra could be single, could maintain close ties with male family members, but have no romantic partner to either hold her down or humanize her. She could fly and fight and ride a freaking unicorn. But she had to do all those things in a leather leotard for zero apparent reason. Even when fighting the forces of evil. In other words, these kick-ass ladies still had to be sexy.
I don't remember She-Ra ever wearing leather or a leotard. She had like a white dress.
Yeah. What I want to know is, why is this woman capable of being perfect, but she's not allowed to be sexy? She's this woman who can do everything she wants, but the second you suggest that she might be attractive, suddenly it's all off. No way. This woman has to be ugly. She has to be able to do it all and be ugly.
She has to be mannish because otherwise she would appeal to the male gaze.
Mm-hmm.
Attractive women are attractive for men, according to women, even though it's really about competition between them.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean anything. You don't want the evil penis bearer to fucking look at you, do you? What kind of freak are you?
And I didn't watch He-Man, so Jack, when He-Man himself was fighting, did he wear a thick sweater or something to cover up his body?
No. He wore his regular chest piece, but they changed the symbol on it. It's not a cross anymore. It's now an H.
It was a battle harness.
Yeah, you can call it whatever you want. It was bondage gear.
So are you saying that he also had to look sexy to those attracted to men?
He was very muscular and not a body positive individual, indeed.
Well, didn't they change that cross because it looked too much like an iron cross?
Yeah, it was an iron cross, but that only has negative connotations because of World War One.
Of course.
Let's see.
Yeah, this is some dumpy chick mad that somebody's prettier than her, and that's all this ever is like, we gotta make her look more butch because strong women look like dudes, apparently.
Well, she's got a bigger forehead than most men.
True.
No, that's Elliot Page. She was a different X-Men.
No, yeah. Elliot Page was her hero was that bonk guy from those arcade games.
His Elliot Page is a man, remember?
Fuck that. No, I'm sorry. Does she have a dick yet? No, then she's a woman.
I don't know. She's 5-head gender.
Hashtag transgender. Hashtag transphobia. Hashtag.
She's bonk gender.
That is.
Yeah, she's. If you don't respect my pronouns, I headbutt you.
Basically.
That is to say, even in television shows that were literally aimed only at little girls, the ones that you wanted sexual assault in, the female superhero who headlined the television show had to be featured wearing almost nothing. Lacking the context of 90s consumerism and bizarre baby doll fetishization, that statement...
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
What about the Powerpuff Girls? They were not scantily clad. They didn't even look human. They looked all weird and blobby.
Oh wait, did the Australian version of Powerpuff Girls, did they give them boobs?
No. I think because they were actually children.
Yeah. That statement almost sounds like little girls were being taught their power was indistinguishable from their sexuality, doesn't it? Would Jean Grey, for example, really have seemed any less powerful, or for that matter, any less pretty, if she had been wearing, say, a uniform that fully covered her breasts? And given that...
She did.
And given that the animated television show was aimed at children and played during Saturday morning cartoons, who was that sexiness intended to titillate exactly?
Their fathers.
Alright, what's going on, Moon?
Nothing, I just found a picture that was so fucking hilarious. I can't stop.
I didn't understand a word of that. You were giggling too much.
Sorry.
Why is it that whenever an attractive woman is depicted, then it must necessarily serve the purpose of titillation? Can't it just be that people like to look at attractive things instead of just, people...
Only men.
Spoken like a white man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not possible.
I don't like to look...
It's not possible that, like the kids would, want to be like that someday or something like that. I want to be really sexy, or I want to be really muscular or whatever.
Yeah, I don't want to look at ugly things. I don't understand why this is such a difficult concept to grasp. No one likes to look at ugly things.
Because 10-year-old boys might look at him and be like, look at the mommy milkers on that whore. No. No, this is just dumb. They don't understand biology, and they don't care. They're just a bunch of frumpy chicks that are bitter about their lives, and they're mad that their cats won't talk to them anymore.
Yeah. I mean, there was a reason that Girls was canceled, folks. Just saying.
What lessons were boys learning from these television shows that featured women and girls who were, at long last, allowed to accompany men on men's errands of heroism, but only if we followed men's rules about how to look, dress, act, love?
There have been female superheroes from the beginning. What the fuck is this crazy bitch talking about?
She watched cartoons, Jack, okay? I think she knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, she watched cartoons in the late 80s, early 90s, and she's delusional. This is more seeing everything through this feminist lens that makes people corrupted. It's like they look at the world and all they see is this distorted vision of everything, and they can't stop that.
Right.
It's fucking irritating.
Sailor Moon notably transforms into Sailor Moon by changing her costume. Like She-Ra,
Sailor Moon transforms into Sailor Moon. That must be a hell of a transformation.
Yes.
By changing her clothes.
No, she transforms into herself. Like,
Well,
that's unnecessary.
When I change my clothes, I transform into myself.
Yeah.
So it does make logical sense in a way. It's just stupid sentence.
Like She-Ra transforming from Princess Adora into She-Ra, Sailor Moon's hero costume is notably far skimpier than her teenage girl costume. Also, like She-Ra, Sailor Moon's hero girl boots are clunky, fashionable, and altogether impractical for actually fighting evil.
Yeah, because it's fiction. And Sailor Moon's other clothes, her teenage clothes, are not a costume. Those are teenager clothes.
Yeah.
It's not a teenager costume. That's
Wasn't it
stupid.
just a school uniform?
Yes.
I don't know, like she was dressed like a sailor, like all, Japanese kids.
Yeah, it's the joke. It's a sailor suit. It's a school uniform.
Mm-hmm. And each school has their own outfit.
Yeah.
For my child self, Sailor Moon was empowering, but I can't help but think of the boys or even adult men who watched her with fascination equal to my own.
How dare they?
I can't like something if other people like things. I can't
Wrong people.
help but think that where I found her exaggerated femininity refreshing, her tears a counterpoint to the emotionless facade perfected by many male superheroes, boys were watching her emotionality and laughing.
Well, perving is more
I got $1 right now that says that in real life this chick pronounces that facade.
Facade.
Which sounds like a brothel mixed with an arcade.
Yes, which is probably what she was hoping for.
Yeah,
which I, for one, think should be a thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Kyle in chat is making a good point. Sailor Moon was written by a woman, so it's like this woman just needs to fuck off.
That's a hate fact.
Yeah.
That is a hate fact we are ignoring because research takes work and Google, and can't do that.
Yeah.
And while I ignored her absurdly short skirt and fuck me boots, and carefully...
What?
What?
Her absurdly short skirt and fuck me boots.
Whatever.
And carefully detailed curves out of sheer self-preservation, boys were watching these things too, and learning.
How dare they?
Learning that this lady has a foot fetish?
Yeah. How dare you be heterosexual?
Mm-hmm. Well, in today's world, that really is like one of the worst things you can do.
Yeah.
A straight white male. That's the worst thing you could possibly be.
Fucking disgusting.
Exactly. God damn.
Your heterosexuality with your heteronormative cisness.
You fucking breeders.
Yeah. Ugh, freaks.
I watched Jean Grey, my superhero mama heroine, and and learned about female power.
Superhero mama heroine.
That's some real fetish shit right there that you just described to me.
All right.
Yes, it is.
All right, tell me I'm not wrong here. Mama heroine sounds like a villain in a blaxploitation movie.
Yeah, a drug dealer.
Yeah.
On top of that.
No, that would be Mammy heroine.
I suspect boys watched Jean Grey and the others and learned about female power too.
No, they didn't.
I suspect the lessons they learned had more to do with the sexuality women are allowed to use as currency to purchase membership in the all-boys clubs that abound in this society.
Oh my god, that's so dumb.
If women are allowed to buy entry, how can it be all boys?
Shut up, Terry.
That's a good point.
This makes sense.
Fucking Frosted the Devil's Advocate.
I suspect that what I found so inspirational, plenty of boys and men out there simply found to be a cheap source of pornography.
Oh my god.
What?
I stopped reading comics when I got older. My first girlfriend, shocker, liked comics, but I never let myself get hooked. I was taking a feminist studies course, shocker, at the time, and already my sense of betrayal was rising. Already I knew that somehow, even here where I had thought I was safe, I was getting screwed.
So, do you think she licks the
I've seen the
fupa?
author. Not happening. Not happening.
Does the author have fupa problems of her own?
Like, so when she went into the feminist studies, she turned her gullibility up to 11. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, she turned her gut ability up to 11.
Do you think they have fupa parties?
Probably, where they just walk up and rub each other's fupas together. It's like the Southern Eskimo kiss. Instead of rubbing noses, they rub their fupas.
Yeah.
Instead of scissoring, it's fupa.
Yeah, they put their arms out, kind of half bent, like they're about to go rah rah, but then they just pump their fists up and down while shaking their fupa back and forth.
And they have fupa wear parties. Yeah.
Yeah, and they dress like Tweedledum and Tweedledee with, little spinner hats, and they're like, fupa, yay!
I rewatched the now ancient X-Men animated series during COVID. I still love Jean Grey dearly. I still envy her the love of Scott Summers. I still get chills when I watch the two of them on screen. I still find their chaste kisses to be more of a turn-on than every sex scene in Sex and the City combined.
This chick's got problems, dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I still want to be Jean Grey when I grow up. To live Jean's life. To love her loves. To swagger her swagger. To be feminine and strong, intuitive and intelligent, empowered and sexy all at once.
See,
But I want to be ugly.
No, but she admits that she hasn't grown up. She's admitting that she's an infant.
Yeah, and does anyone else get the impression that we don't know her girlfriend because she went to another school?
Yeah. In Canada.
Yeah, and there's a lot of cats involved in the household.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all named after X-Men.
Yeah, this is my kitty cat. I call him the Wolverine, and then this is Beast because he's bluish and he's furry.
Can you imagine the poor cat that she named Cyclops? Because she's going to be fucking that cat.
Or Professor
Yeah,
X.
That's probably. Oh my god, poor crippled cat can't escape. No, I think she has a snuggle pillow called Scott Summers. And it actually is like a Scott Summers pillow that she made herself, and it looks like, some scary scarecrow that a 10-year-old would put together. And she leaves it in her bed, and people that come over are like, what the fuck? I'm in a serial killer's house.
And it's made of human skin.
Yeah, and she's like, there's another one running. Get them, my X-Men. And she just throws cats at him like, fly, Storm.
Does she ever cut Wolverine's nails?
No, she tapes other ones onto him just for good measure. He's got scotch tape and old fingernails on him. Get him, Wolverine!
Oh,
You'll love me. I'm Jean Grey.
And I still want to tell her to put on a shirt to cover the black pleather leotard-looking V-neck thing she's got on instead.
Oh,
Not because I want her to be more modest, not at all. But because if you're going to fight crime, you should probably make sure your breasts stay out of your enemy's reach.
why? Are they going to reach over and grab them?
And if you're going to be a powerful superhero, you gotta dress for the superheroing at hand, not for the titillation of male voyeurs.
Titillation.
Red Sonja fought a lot of crime, just saying.
If you're going to be a powerful woman, you have to dress like your body belongs to you, only to you, not to male voyeurs, not to the man who loves you, not to anyone else but you.
That sounds like one of those confirmation things. People, my body is mine, not the male voyeurs.
I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, I should dress Muslim.
This is why Jack and I can't be on stream, so I'd be laughing the whole fucking time.
I wish the X-Men had taught me this lesson. I wish these female superheroes had taught me about power, in addition to teaching me about pleasure and sacrifice and heroism. The leader, after all, is not the one without a shirt on in the heat of battle. That's just a fact. I want to be a leader, and I want to be Jean Grey. Jean Grey is a leader in her own way. She is the heart of her team. That is a form of leadership. I wish the comic book series had taught me that.
You know,
Fuck off.
Faithless in chat says cock blocker. I can see this one actually being the role of a cock blocker in a big fucking cape and like complete like Muslim wear with a big CD on her chest.
Look, I have some issue with this because who did Jean Grey love? She loved Scott Summers. The guy that looked like a big blue balled penis with a giant visor that looks like a pee hole. So I think she has some very penis oriented issues. Just saying, think about it. I want to use my mental powers to dominate the men. Come on, there's some shady stuff going on here.
Oh my god.
That's all.
I don't like her yellow spandex. Oh, people.
Well, that's all I had for tonight, gentlemen. So, I'll just show my co-host and guest. Jack Gunsky has Quippers United on his channel on Sundays at 7 p.m. EST. Moonshock has his Twitch channel where he plays games that aren't as good as Super Seducer, linked in the description. Terry Diamantis is on Minions of the Zoo on Delahazed and One Ton Hammers Nights. He's on Johnny Hellcat streams. Quippers United. What am I forgetting?
This. No, I think that's six streams.
Yeah, the walking stream.
Oh yeah. And anything you want to shill, Jack?
Make sure everybody's like and subscribe to this channel, of course. But I did a stream earlier. I'll drop the link in the chat.
All right. So we'll be on same time next week. We should be. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Don't get cock blocked.
Boy!